Today's video is brought to you by the good people over at patriotpost.us. They are my go-to source for all my news, information, op-eds, and all that good stuff. And a link for them will be in the description box. So when you head over there and subscribe, tell them that ABL sent you. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you an update on the London Bridge terror attack. Yes, I can say with confidence that it was a terror attack. I'm not giving you my opinion or a third-party opinion, whatever, for somebody else. This has now been classified specifically and accurately as a terror attack. Now, I'll give you a brief recap before we get into the details of the situation, the updates, and more about the individual that has committed this crime. Now, on Friday, November 29th, 2019, right around 2 p.m., there was a terror attack on or around the London Bridge where several people got injured, 2 people got killed. This guy goes on a stabbing spree. There was no weapon involved except for the knife. Now, the police are able to apprehend him after just random civilians apprehended him first. Somebody had like a fire extinguisher and, they really did a great job. So hats off to the civilians. The police come in and they see what appears to be a suicide vest on him. It was not, but they thought it was because he opened his jacket up. They thought it was a suicide vest. They go ahead and just shoot him. So he's dead. Now, there's a lot to get into, a lot to quote unquote unpack here, as the cool kids would say. So I got to back all the way up to like 2012 because I got to talk about the guy in the situation first. Now, this person, I won't say his name or show his picture, but when I tell you about him, you'll pretty much be able to get a visual image. And I can guarantee you're pretty much right on point. And if you want to see his face and his name, I'll link to a story in the box below where all that information is right there. But this guy is a UK citizen, probably was born there. I've not seen information about him being born in UK, but he spent some time in Pakistan, obviously, and he has a big beard. He got arrested in 2012 with other jihadists, terrorists, whatever you want to call them, for several terrorist plots, including one that was to blow up the London Stock Exchange. So he was in jail for that. I think the guy that was involved in the stabbing spree yesterday and his cohorts that got arrested in 2012 were given 16-year sentences back then. He was able to appeal and say that the sentence was too long. He was a young man at the time. He was 21 years old. They said, oh, it was too long. He's too young. Is that and the third. So they reduced his sentence and let him go free in 2018 after, 6 years? They gave him an ankle monitor. Maybe they thought, okay, you can be out on what they call license, which is the same thing as parole. We'll give you an ankle monitor so you can't really do you can't be flying in Pakistan or Syria or something like that. We're going to be able to keep track of you. But unfortunately, that did not work. He went to this program at Cambridge called, Learning Together? If I'm wrong about the name, let me know in the comments below. But the program was to bring together counselors and teachers and I think current and or former prisoners. I know it was definitely former prisoners that were there. And he was to be there, speak about his experiences being in jail and talk to other inmates about their experience in jail and talk to counselors and whatnot. Is, kind of an inclusionary thing to bring everybody together, all kind of hugs and kisses and whatnot. His attack started at that program. I'm not quite sure if it was in the classroom or if it was in the building, but it spilled out onto the London Bridge. The civilians that were able to apprehend him were former prisoners themselves. Okay, that's one thing about that. And then here comes the police. They come in and see the suicide belt or what appeared to be a suicide belt, vest, whatever you want to call it, and then they shoot him dead. 2 people have been killed so far. That number could rise because I'm not quite sure if, people are in the hospital still, they're in critical condition or what have you. But there have been 2 that were killed so far. One of them was a man that was a counselor at the event. It's really unfortunate. You're trying to do a good thing. You're trying to do a positive thing. But the truth is that some people are not going to be rehabilitated, but we'll move on. This guy should not have been out. That's clear. It's 100%. He shouldn't have been out. You get locked up for trying to blow up the stock exchange in London. You get out early after only 6 years of a 16-year sentence. What is the ankle monitor going to do? You go to this program that's meant to help former inmates, and you start your terror attack right there in the spot. Sadiq Khan, the mayor, has said that there have been no other people that were suspects, or, there might not be anybody else might be along with that and the third. But there was also a stabbing attack in The Hague in Netherlands, which is not that far away from UK. Okay, UK is right there in the water. Right across the water, you got France. Netherlands is right there. It's not that far. Was it coordinated? Happened the same day, only hours apart? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it probably was coordinated. Stabbing attack in The Hague, stabbing attack, London Bridge. And how did you get a knife in the Cambridge anyway? How did that happen? The knife was big. I saw that it was a pretty decent size. It wasn't like a kitchen knife. This was like a butcher knife. How did you get that in Cambridge? Metal detectors, what's going on? You would think that a place like that with possibly current and definitely former prisoners have a little bit more, a security, metal detector or something, but I guess not. I guess not. And the situation could have been totally avoided. Like I said, known terrorist, got out early, shouldn't have been out early. But what are you going to do when you have liberalism that has infected Western Europe? You say, oh, well, he didn't really mean anything. It's okay. Let him out. In these kinds of environments, extremism is easy to just flourish because there's nothing counteracting it. You understand? Like, when you have a lack of a strong religion in a place, sometimes other religion is able to come up and just do whatever it wants, unless it's squashed by another meme. I've read that there are like 22,000 confirmed jihadists in UK right now, just walking the streets. What are we doing? They keep thwarting plots to attack this monument, that monument, etc. I think Notre Dame got burned down as a terror attack. Quite frankly, it was an accident. I don't know if I believe that one. We see these incidents happening in Europe all the time, and I think that it is not a coincidence. You're being infiltrated on a land with physical people being there, radical imams, terrorists like this guy on the London Bridge. Also on the internet, it's big there. It's everywhere. What are you going to do to stop it? That should be the number one focus of Western Europe. Europe in general, but definitely Western Europe, to combat the rise of Islam, radical Islam. You got people that are just regular normies that don't get involved with this, but there's a problem. There's a serious issue with radicalization. It's simple as that. What are you going to do to stop it? You got to do something, because if you don't, you're going to have many more of these guys on a London Bridge. There was also a London Bridge attack in 2017, and then The Hague, and then possibly Notre Dame, Germany. The list goes on. Do something right now to stop it, or you will not be able to stop it, because it would be an animal that has grown too wild and too large for you to control. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Are you surprised that the guy has roots from Pakistan, big beard, already was a terrorist, known to the police, already been locked up before, ankle monitor? Does that surprise you at all? Or is it like what Sadiq Khan said, is part and parcel living in a big city like London? You got to expect terror attacks. Is it just that, or is he wrong? Am I wrong? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.